Hello students, a very good afternoon. Welcome back to this video lecture series on data representation. In the previous session, we have learnt the categories of number systems which are positional and non-positional numbers. Now we have learnt what non-positional and positional number systems are all of. So non-positional numbers are those numbers which are only used for representational purpose and do not have any significant value when it comes to each and every individual digit. But when it comes to a positional number system, each and every bit or each and every digit of a number will have a significant value. So that is place value. That is the reason we call them as positional numbers. Now in today's session, we shall learn something about the base or radix of a number. Now what is this base, or we also call it as radix. A base of a number or a radix of a number is defined as the total number of possible digits a particular number has or number system has. Now say for example, so that is what it is defined as: the number of digits present in a number system is called the base. So when it comes to binary, so here in this chapter we are learning about the four important number systems, which are binary, octal, decimal and hexadecimal. So with respect to uh, binary number, a binary number has two digits, that is either 0 or 1. So hence the base of a binary number is 2. And then when it comes to octal number, it ranges from 0 to 7, including 0 and 7. The total number of outcomes a octal number has is 8, hence the base is also 8. And next, when it comes to decimal number, so decimal number range from 0 to 9. So total is 10 digits, so the base or radix of decimal is 10. And when it comes to hexadecimal, so hexadecimal is, hexa is 6, decimal is 10, so it is 16. But what are the possible outcomes of the hexadecimal numbers? So it is a combination of both alphabets and numbers. We begin with numbers and end up with alphabets. So what are the numbers which come under hexadecimal? It is 0 to 9, which are 10 in number, and A to F, which are 6 in number. So that is your hexadecimal numbers. Okay. So the base or a radix is the total number of digits a particular number system holds. So binary, when it comes to binary, it is 2. When it comes to octal, it is 8. When it comes to decimal, it is 10. And when it comes to hexadecimal, it is 16. Okay. So this is regarding the base. Now next we shall learn the first conversion type, which is from decimal to binary. Okay. So this is the first conversion which we are going to study next. Okay. All right. Now let us learn how to convert the decimal number into a binary equivalent. So the steps are: first you need to divide the decimal number by 2. Why 2? Because to which you want to convert the number, the base of that number is 2. So divide the decimal number by 2. After dividing, write down all the remainders which are left out. So remainder is whatever is left out after division, that is the remainder. Then write all the remainders from MSB to LSB, means from most significant bit to least significant bit. So this procedure is followed only for integers. This procedure is followed only for integers. Now what is the procedure to be followed for fractional part, that we shall see in the next session. So first step is divide the number by 2, the decimal number by 2, then write down all the remainders. So whatever the remainders you get, write it down. Then consider all the remainders from most significant bit to least significant bit. Now to make you all understand it better, let us solve a simple example. Now the base, we all know that the base of a decimal number is 10. So if there is 10 written at the subscript, then treat this as a decimal number. So 26 is a decimal number, you need to represent this into a binary equivalent. So how is that done? See, since this is an integer number, you don't find any fractional part or decimal point. So what is the procedure you need to follow? First, divide the number by 2, write down all the remainders, consider the numbers from most significant bit to least significant bit. Now up to what we shall divide it? Let us see. So 26 you have divided by 2. 2 how many times is 26? 2 13 times is 26. After division you find any remainder? No. So it is 0. Next, 2 times 6 is 12, but you have 13 here. What is the remainder? 1. Then 2 times 3 is 6, the remainder is 0. Then 2 times 1 is 2. To make it 3, you need one more bit, which is 1. So the remainder is 1. Now further you cannot divide because 1 is smaller than 2. You cannot divide the number. It will go into fractions. We don't want that. So now what? We are supposed to consider the numbers from most significant bit to least significant bit. Here the most significant bit is the bottom or the top, the bottom one. So this is your MSB and this is your LSB. You need to consider the numbers from most significant bit to least significant bit. So what will be the equivalent of 26? It will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0 to the base 2. Why 2? Because this represents a binary equivalent. So you can observe here, not even a single digit is neither 1 or nor 0, means all the combinations are either zeros and ones. So what we have done here, we have divided the number by 2, which is 26 is the decimal given decimal number. We need to represent it to a binary. So 2 times 13 is 26. Now why we have written 0 here? See, when you divide 26 by 2, 2 13s are 26. What is the remainder you have? This is your remainder. So this is remainder 0. So this is your dividend, divisor, quotient and remainder. So you need to write the remainders apart. So 2 times 13 is 26, 0, it is divides completely. 2 times 6 is 12, 1 is the remainder after division. So 2 times 3 is 6, 0, 2 times 1 is 2 and you are left out with 1. So considering the bits from most significant bit to least significant bit. Why these are called most significant bit? Because when you move from right side to left side, each and every significant bit increases to the raised power of 2. So that is the reason we call them as most significant bit and least significant bit. So this is the first example which I have solved, and in the next example we shall see how fractional part or the decimal part can be converted into binary. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.